module for this course. And in this module, we'll be looking at managing a football club. However, let's quickly remind ourselves that in our previous modules, which is the module 1 and module 2, we've been able to introduce ourselves to sports management as a whole, which is the main topic for the course, where we look at the meaning of sports management, the definition of sports, and the different types of sports that we have from different perspectives, which was well justified and have indicated. So now, in our previous module, that was module 2, we were able to establish to discuss the ethics and principles in social sports management, where we talk about mostly the do's and don'ts in sports management, what you should do and what you should not do. And in this module 3, we are advancing to managing a football club. As we know now that when we are talking about sports, football club, managing a football club is one of the important topics that needs to be discussed in this module, in this course, And in this module, we will be enlightening ourselves on the different ways in how we the different way in which we can manage a football club, and what we need to do as a football manager, or what we should not do as a football manager. So let's move on to the contents of the module now. We have in this module, we'll be looking at football club. That is, we'll be looking at what football club is, introducing us to the meaning of football club. Then we'll move on to managing a football club. What does managing a football club entails? How do we manage a football club? And after that, we'll move on to the organizational structure of a professional football club, and give us example in practice. So after that, we'll move on to the financial management, revenue streams, sponsorship, and merchandising. So in this is the financial aspect of managing a football club. We'll also discuss that. We'll be looking at subtopics like sponsorship and merchandising. After that, we'll move on to the player contracts, transfers, and agents relations. So this is also an important part in managing a football club. How do a club handle player contracts? How do they handle player transfers and agents relations? And also we move to fan engagements and community relations. After that, finally we'll be looking at strategic planning, club branding, and global expansion. How can we strategically plan a club? How can we brand a club, a football club, and how we can expand a football club globally? So we have just like we have instances of clubs that are globally known, like Real Madrid, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, Barcelona, and the likes. So let's move on to the introduction for this module. So in managing a football club, this is a multifaceted endeavor that extends far beyond the pitch, blending sporting ambition with complex business operations. It involves overseeing the on-field performance through team selection, tactical planning, player recruitment, and coaching, while simultaneously navigating the broader responsibilities of running a sustainable organization. So basically, sports managing a football club is a multifaceted program, or let's say endeavor. Is a multifaceted case that extends far beyond just it's far beyond the scores or the pitch, or what is happening on the pitch. It's cut across the pitch, the players, the club, facilities, the fans, the staffs, the necessary registration, legal rights, and all, rules and regulations, and all. That is what it cut across. So it's not just about the pitch performance or the pitch engagement alone. So now what we are trying to establish here is that it involves overseeing field performance mainly. It is very important through team selection, tactical planning, player recruitment. It also involves recruiting players, recruiting coaches, and also simultaneously navigating the broader responsibility of running sustainable organizations. So we have in this session we have club executive, club owners or directors. They must be able to balance competitive success, such as winning matches, winning trophies, and promotions with financial prudence, ensuring the club complies with regulations like UEFA or league licensing requirements, maintains facility and postal loan. This is just this is just a box of what managing a football club has to entails. Firstly, it has to do with a club executive, whereby the executive who are in charge of managing a football club, the executive, the owners, the directors, and even the manager or the coach, sometimes they must be able to balance their performances on the field, that is playing winning matches, player winning matches, to proceed to winning trophies, recruiting players, promoting financial prudence, ensuring the club strictly complies with the regulation of the UEFA or of the FIFA, also league licensing requirements, maintaining facilities, and even providing infrastructure for the fans and the athletes as a whole. So now let's move on to the football club. What do we refer to as a football club? When we are talking about a football club is often abbreviated as FC. So in this situation, when we hear with FC, it simply implies that we are talking about a football club, and it is an organized sports entity, typically a type of sports club that manages and oversees association football, that is soccer activities. It serves as the legal operational body through which academics and sometimes women's or other sections compete in leagues, in cups and tournaments. Many clubs also have commercial aspects like merchandise, sponsorships, and global branding. So we have our image of Premier League clubs and Nigerian Premier League clubs, where we could see Brentford, Manchester United, Bournemouth, Manchester City. These are different Premier League clubs, and we have Nigerian Premier League club also on the right edge. We in this slide, where we have Yimba FC, Shooting Star, Kwara United, and the likes. So these are images of what a football club logo looks like mainly. So what we are trying to establish is that many football club is not just about providing. It's not just about playing football, but it's about providing the necessary things for the first team, the reserve, the youth, academics, and even women as a whole. So now let's move on to managing football club. How do we manage a football club? So in managing a professional football club, it demands a delicate balance between sports excellence and robust business operation in an industry where on-pitch success directly influences financial health and long-term sustainability. What we are trying to establish is just that the sources, what happens on the pitch, mainly determine the flow of the club, of a football club. So this is why much attention. It is like just like the backbone and source of income. The field performance it's just like source of income or revenue for a football club, because it will determine how people will engage, how much people will have interest, how much people will invest in the club. So this is managing a football club. It works around balancing between sports excellence, sports performances on the pitch, and business operation and robust business in an industry whereby the sources on pitch directly influences financial health. So beyond day-to-day operations, successful club management requires a long-term vision that integrates fan engagement, community relation, and global branding to build loyalty and additional revenue streams. Stadium and facility upgrades, for instance, enhance match day experiences and monetization opportunities. Just like we have Santiago Bernabeu in Real Madrid, we could see what they have done in the stadium. They try to upgrade the facility from what it was like 5 years ago. So this help it enhance match day experiences, whereby the fans will be able to experience more and even prompt fans to come and watch live matches and this is also serve as monetization opportunities. And also digital tools and international talks expand reach in a globalized market. So ultimately, thriving clubs treat football as a passion and discipline enterprise where strategic planning, adaptability to emerging trends like technology integration and sustainability, and a focus on long-term goals ensure enduring success on and off the pitch. So we will delve into detailed explanation, real-world examples, and practical insight to illustrate the club's success. So let's draw example from prominent clubs like Manchester United, Real Madrid, FC Barcelona, and others to provide context. Just like we are trying to establish we could see that just recently Manchester United they have an ongoing project about extending their stadium. Before the situation of Manchester United stadium before the end of last season, which was the 2025-2026 season, we could easily see that it has becoming dilapidated, most especially when the one of their legend player, Cristiano Ronaldo, dragged the facility and all that. It was the same as he left it as at 2009 compared to when he came back to in 2021-2022. So they tried to upgrade the stadium coming this season, this new season, which is the 2026-2027 season, and the 2025-2026 season, where during the summer holiday, we could see that they've renovated and upgraded the stadium as a whole. In fact, they are even trying to enlarge to upgrade the stadium, to build a new stadium. We could also see the case of Real Madrid and Barcelona. Barcelona is just has also been building a new stadium, which I believe they have recently finished. Real Madrid also upgraded their stadiums, whereby they put a cover that is making the match days and fans a more attractive scenario for the fans. So this is a different way and different context that we can manage a football club when it has to do with upgrading. So let's move on to the organizational structure of a professional football club. When we are talking about the organizational structure of a professional football club, it is typically hierarchical and designed to ensure efficient decision making, clear accountability, and alignment between sporting and business goals. So the organization resembles a corporate entity, but with unique elements tailored to the football industry, such as a focus on-pitch performance and fan-centric operations. So let's take a look at the key components and their roles in the structure of professional football club. We have the ownership or board of directors. So they are the top owners. They could be individuals, consortium, or public companies. They set the vision and appoint key executive. The board oversees major decisions, including financial strategy and managerial appointments mainly. After them, we have the chief executive officer or the managing director. That's the CEO or managing director. This role of this CEO or managing director, it bridges the gap between the ownership and operations, handling day-to-day management. They report to the board and coordinate departments. Examples, we have sporting directors. We also have sporting directors or director of football, which is responsible for player recruitment, mainly scouting and academic development. They work closely with the head coach, that is the manager, but focus on long-term squad building. Just like we have Jason Wickers in Manchester United, who is in charge of mainly responsible for recruiting and scouting for players and academic development as a whole. So we also have the head coach or manager and the coaching staff. This is they focus on team performance. Their main focus is on team performance, developing tactics and player development. They have input on transfers, but report to the sporting directors. So let's take Jurgen Klopp's tenure as Liverpool and simplifies how a strong manager can influence club culture and success. Just like we have recently, let's take Arne Slot as the coach of Liverpool, and we have interim coach of Manchester United to be Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick reports to the sporting director, which is Wickers, and on about sports, about player development, recruitment, tactics, and all. So they work. The sporting director and head coach or manager, they are the ones to believe to work hand in hand. They work. Their work is they work hand in hand to achieve on-pitch success and long-term growth. We also have support departments, and these departments include finance, marketing, HR, the human resources, the legal, medical, have medical department, and scouting teams. Larger clubs may have specialized units like data analytics and performance metrics. We also have academic and youth development. This is a separate arm dedicated to nurturing talent, often led by an academy director. Clubs like Ajax Amsterdam, then La Masia in Barcelona, these are renowned clubs for their youth systems. So let's look hierarchical examples in practice. We have hierarchical versus flat structures. Premier League club like Arsenal, they use a more corporate hierarchical model with clear divisions, while smaller clubs like RB Leipzig, part of they adopt a flatter, innovative structure that by emphasizing data-driven decisions. And challenges include balancing short-term results with long-term sustainability. Poor structure can lead to issues, as we can see in Everton recent financial troubles that they had due to mismatched ownership and management. So this structure ensures that sporting ambitions align with financial health, with regular board meetings and performance reviews. So now let's move on to the financial management, where we'll be looking at the financial management, the revenue stream, sponsorship, merchandising. So financial management is a crucial for sustainability, especially given the high cost of player salaries and transfer that we have now. Clubs generate revenue through diverse streams while managing expenses to comply with the rules like profits and sustainability regulation or financial fair play (PSR) in the Premier League. So this part is very essential to sustain a football club, especially considering what the rate at which the clubs are now spending money. So if there is no money, a professional club has to be very careful and manage their financial aspects, financial angle very effectively. We have the likes of Barcelona running into debt. As big as Barcelona is, they run into debt, which it's not as if they don't have the money, but because of proper financial management, they run into debt. We have issues like that has happened in the case of even Manchester United sometimes. So there was this kind of constraint to how much they can spend in the transfer markets and all, which they are trying to avoid financial fair play and the likes. So let's move on to the revenue streams now. So revenue streams could be broadcasting rights, match day income. There is definitely income for every match day, commercial revenue and player sales. And whenever they sell player, these also serve as revenue streams, how they can gain money. Broadcasting rights, match day income, commercial revenue, and player sales. Player sales, like we could have the case of Kylian Mbappe and also Neymar, which both of them were believed to be the most expensive player in history. So both sold to PSG at huge amount. I believe Neymar was sold for 222 million and the likes. We have the case of let's take another club for example. The case of Ajax, whereby they develop their youth players and sell them off in huge amounts of money. We have the likes of Anthony from Brazil was sold for Manchester United for 100 million generally, in which he was bought for like 13 to 15 million. We could see the differences. So now we have sponsorship too. Clubs secure this with brands for shared sponsorship, stadium naming rights, and training kits, just like we can have in the part of let's take Real Madrid as an example. We could see the Flying Emirates in front of their jersey. Could be the sponsor, could be Nike and Arts and all. In the case of Manchester United, we have Team Viewer. For Chelsea, we have the Tigi Figure. So these are different club sponsorship. They try to sponsor we have Betano for Aston Villa and the likes. So we have merchandising. So merchandising, it requires the sales. It involves the sale of jerseys, sale of apparel, memorabilia through club stores, online platform, and global outlets. This has to do with sale of jerseys, just like we can see that many clubs they try to sign big name players so that they will be able to sell their jerseys off, just like we have in the case of Cristiano Ronaldo movement to Anasri in the season. We could see how Anasri moved jersey, how Anasri drastically made profit from their jerseys because people massively bought the Anansi jersey. And even the case of Cristiano Ronaldo as well, when he moved to Manchester United, the movement was believed to be the most sold jersey in history. So tactics, we have limited edition release, fan customization, and e-commerce expansion. So that's that about financial management. So let's move on to the player contracts, transfers, and agent relations. So player management is just like we have mentioned, that it is the heartbeat, is It is the spine. It is the foundation of a club, which involves legal, financial, and relational expertise to build and maintain a competitive team. So our player contracts, this is a key element which include duration, typically 3 to 5 years salary bonus plus bonuses, which could be the bonuses could be appearance, could be goal or title incentives, and clauses like release fees or buyback options. So when we're talking about this player contract, because mostly when the club wants to buy a new player, they sign probably 5 years, 6 years contracts, and there is open opportunity to for further extension. And we have in the case like bonuses. In this case of bonuses, we have different bonuses which could come in form of appearances, it could come in form of goal, it could come in form of incentives. We just like we have for the appearance, we have the example of the recent Real Madrid boy that moved to Lyon. It was if he could appear for a particular amount of time, the Lyon Football Club will pay a certain amounts of money to Real Madrid. And if he also did not meet up with the particular minimum time of appearance, this same club, Lyon, will still pay a certain amount of money to Real Madrid. So in the case of Hendrick. So let's move on to the negotiation. Clubs use data analytics to assess values. Extensions are common to protect assets, as Liverpool did with Mohamed Salah in 2022. In 2022, Mohamed Salah was believed to leave the club, but he later extended it. And in the case of Harry Kane in Tottenham, to transfer windows, transfer window open twice yearly, which is the summer and the winter transfer window, for buying or selling and selling of players. Fees can be upfront or structured. It could be add-on. When we say up or structured, we have the case of structured in the sense that gradual payments. It could be paid twice, it could be paid thrice. It could be some amounts can be paid upfront. Then after, there will be add-ons. Probably after, if the club should collect a particular trophy, if the player should appear is for a certain amount of time on the field, if the player should score a certain number of goals. Those are different add-ons that could come in the case of transfer windows. So we have process. You scouting for a process. You scouting different targets, negotiation, follow up, and medicals. Finalize deals. Loans, with or without buy option. Loans help manage squads like Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester United are massively loaning out young talents. Just like I believe we have Chelsea massively loaning out to Strasbourg, Manchester United, the likes of the different your academy player are being loaned out so that they can actually develop. The likes of Hendrick too in Real Madrid was loaned out to Lyon to develop for till the end of the season. The case of Missingiri was also loaned to Getafe for a particular time because of the issue and crisis that he had before he was totally he was totally sold to Marseille, in which Manchester United still tried to add a particular 50% buy 50% or buyback option for the player. We have agent relations. Agents represent player in negotiations for often demanding commission up to 5 to 10% of the deals. Building trust is key. So clubs like Real Madrid maintain long-term ties with agents like George Mendes, which represents Ronaldo and Mourinho. So this is that. The answer is that about player contract transfers and agents relations. So let's move on to the stadium and facility management. So stadiums are not just venues but revenue generating assets and symbol of club identity. The key aspects include operations, upgrades and sustainability, training facilities. So operations, daily management include maintenance, security and event hosting. So there are different concerts as the stadiums, different concerts is being held in different stadiums. So this is another way of management and maintenance or operations. Upgrades and sustainability, that is modernization for fan experience, just like the case of Santiago Bernabeu, the Real Madrid, Wi-Fi premium seating and eco-friendliness. We also have training facilities. Is separate from stadiums. These include pitches, gyms, and medical centers. So example is revenue maximizations and the likes. We have Allianz Arena that's Bayern Munich. They use LED lighting for customizable exteriors which enhance branding. So fan engagement and community relations now. Fans are the backbone, they are the livelihood of a club, and engaging them builds loyalty while also fostering positive community ties. Club can engage the fans through the following. We have digital, through digital or in person. So in digital, through social media apps, through different apps, virtual reality experience, Liverpool LFC TV, Manchester United TV to MUTV, and fast foods on Twitter. They engage global audiences all across the world. It could also come in person, and the engagement can come in person, like match day events, fan zones, and meet and greet, just like different players used to do. Manchester United, United We Stand initiative includes fan advisory boards. So in the case of community relations, it could be charity work, youth programs, and local partnerships. Sorry about that. FC Barcelona, uh, Mescu and Club, Moto Drives Community Foundation supporting education and health is a perfect example for this. We have the CSR to corporate social responsibility, that is the anti-discrimination campaigns like UEFA Respect program and environmental efforts. Examples is we have Borussia Dortmund here, the yellow word for Borussia Dortmund. The yellow word fan culture strengthens bonds, while Arsenal community aid aid North London youth. So strategic planning, club branding, and global expansion now. For Allied Club, advanced management focuses on long-term vision beyond domestic success. So strategic plan, it involves SWOT analysis, that is the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threat analysis, and 5 to 10 years roadmaps. The tools that is being used is data analysis for forecasting and risk management. We have club branding. For club brand, we have building. It has to do with building a unique identity through logos, slogans, and narratives. So just like we have the logo that was shown initially, we have the logo of Manchester United, Arsenal, which they and they have different slogans. The Arsenal, we call themselves the Gunners. Chelsea, we have the Manchester United, they call themselves the Red Devils and the likes, or GGMU, Glory Glory Man United. So we have marketing. This marketing has to do with content creation, documentaries like All or Nothing on Amazon, and collaboration which could be Adidas and all. Adidas collaborating with Manchester United team for boots and brands. Global expansion. When we are talking about global expansion, it has to do with international tours, academies abroad, ownership networks. International tours in the sense that preseason games in Asia, the US, like Arsenal tours generating millions, and just the preseason tours that the United also go to. Arsenal, Tottenham also has different preseason tours going to US, going to Asia, and the likes. So we also have academics abroad. So Ajax and Barcelona, they export models to countries like China for talent scouting. Just like yes, we have different clubs, they have their representative, they have their club representing, or uh, they have their academies, yes, club academies in different countries. We have the case of Juventus and Dortmund in Nigeria. Also, we also have the case of Juventus in some Arab place. This will make it easier for scouting and all. And we have ownership networks. This is City Football Group owns club in 13 countries sharing resources. That's for City. So in conclusion, in managing a professional football club, it demands an intricate harmony between pursuing sporting excellence and ensuring financial sustainability in an industry defined by high stake and relentless competition. So from establishing a robust organizational structure with clear rules for ownership, executives, and coaching staff, to mastering diverse revenue streams, stadiums operation, fan engagement, effective leadership, data-driven, and clubs that excel, such as Manchester City, Real Madrid, and Liverpool, they demonstrate that aligning on pitch ambitions with prudent commercial practices does not only drive trophies and global prestige, but it also safeguard long-term viability amid regulatory pressures and economic uncertainties. Thank you. That will be the end for this module. We'll move on to the next module to discuss how to manage